Make it here and we will start. So, hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Sherry Placco, and I am joined by Stacy Cook tonight. And we are so glad that you're here. The purpose of this class is to help you figure out this whole natural way of living thing, right? Like, how does it work? What do you keep? What do you have to toss? Is it hard? It's not as hard as you think. We're going to walk you through that. We're here to help you, but I do want to give you a little heads up. We have tried our very best to keep this class to 30 minutes, but there's a whole lot to cover, and we're going to do our best, but we might go a little over. So I just wanted to give you that little warning ahead of time. So I'm going to apologize in advance if we run over the 30 minutes, but we're really going to do our best. So I'm going to start out by talking about how I started this natural lifestyle. Way back in the spring of 2015, I was actually diagnosed with an autoimmune. I was on a bunch of meds. Nothing was helping. I was looking for something better. And I met my good friend, Stacy. She was hosting an essential oils class. And at that time, the only thing I knew about essential oils is that weren't those hippie things that people use to make their house smell nice? And it's like, well, I have those air fresheners. So yeah, okay. But I went to find out what it was about. The first thing that I learned when I went to her essential oils class was not about essential oils. It was about the toxins in the products that I was choosing to bring into my home and use on myself and use around my family that I didn't even know were harming me and harming my family. It's so frightening. And I came home from that class and I started looking at all my products and I was throwing things away. And my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Trust me, you're going to love me for this." But so, what's with the toxins? Why are they there? I really didn't know. But when we start looking and reading labels, there are toxins in everything that we have, from keeping stuff on the shelves safe for longer. So it's the preservatives, it can be food dyes to make it look more attractive. It's in everyday products like our shampoos, your soap, your laundry detergent, your lotion, your makeup, air fresheners. I was the queen of the air fresheners and candles. I had no idea what they were doing to me. We can even be exposed to toxins in our food, our cookware, definitely our cleaning products. The problem with this is that many of these toxins just don't have a natural pathway out of our bodies because they weren't supposed to be there to begin with. And our bodies are meant to break down toxins in a normal situation. However, in today's world, we are being inundated with toxins. So over time, so generally after 20, 30, 40 years of use of these products, that's when we see that impact to our body. It could result in symptoms of toxic overload that include fatigue, insomnia, anxiety, depression, digestive issues, brain fog, skin issues, hormone disorders, and we'll talk about that more. And a big thing is that 80% of people diagnosed with autoimmunes are women. And we're going to break that down a little bit more in a bit. So long story short, I learned how to read labels. I learned what was dangerous. And over a period of time, I eliminated all of the toxins out of my home. I started that journey in the fall of 2015. And as of March 2016, I was medication free from both a lifelong asthma battle as well as my autoimmune. And I continue to be medication free today, which is why I now am obsessed with teaching people about how there is a better way to natural living. So today we're going to talk about how to know you have high quality essential oils, how to recognize the bad stuff and give you alternatives because it's not as bad as you think. And I'm going to kick it over to Stacy now.
Thank you so much, Sherry. And thank you for everyone for being here with us tonight. I'm just going to share a little bit about how I got started. For me, it wasn't so much that I was dealing with an acute health condition. I actually was kind of going through a change in life seasons. This was a little over 7 years ago, and I was pregnant. And it was really the first time that I started paying a lot of attention to what was in the products I was putting on my body versus in my body. I had kind of, but worked really hard to dial in my diet and was eating healthy, but I did not think at all about, what's in my lotion, what's in my shampoo, what's in my deodorant. Wasn't on my radar until I was pregnant, and I became kind of like that crazy pregnant woman who's, becomes hyper aware of everything, right? You have a lot of different thoughts, and you're having, different concerns. And all of a sudden, I was reading labels, looking at ingredients, and realizing there is a lot of garbage, like Sherry was saying, in these products that are not good for us. So all I wanted to do in the beginning was a little bit of DIY. Like I just wanted to make some lotion, make some facial serums, call it a day. That was great. So I got a little set of oils, did those things, and I loved them. I loved the products I made. They made me feel great. And then as I got plugged into some additional resources, I really found out that there was so much more I could do with some of these natural products in terms of supporting my health, my family's health, and do it in a way that was natural and really removing any of those toxin chemicals from all different areas of our home. So it became very much a lifestyle for me and my family. And like I said, now we've been using these products for 7 years, and it's wonderful because I don't have to worry about the things in my home as it relates to my son's health, who's, almost 8, my dog, any of that stuff. We know that we have clean products in our home. Um, and, you know, as time has gone by, I've gotten busier and I don't really have as much time to DIY anymore. So what I love is that um, all of the oils we use are from Young Living, and the majority of personal care products I use now are also from Young Living, because rather than DIY my lotion now, I just buy lotion from them because I know that their quality standards are above and beyond anything that I would find in the grocery store. So that's an option that makes it easier. So a few things you need to know, because all the oils we talk about tonight are from Young Living, and there is a huge difference about getting an essential oil from Young Living versus getting your essential oils at TJ Maxx or the health food store or Walmart or Target or Bed Bath and Beyond, because you can find oils in all those places, and I will tell you, they are not going to give you the results that you need or deserve. They are just not the same. The main issue is that there's no labeling laws when it comes to essential oils. They can have garbage fillers, they can have barely 5% essential oil and still call it a pure essential oil. So you really need to know your essential oil farmer. And with Young Living, we get that opportunity because Young Living's been around for over 25 years. They invite people to their farms. They have farms here in the US, they have farms around the world. Sherry's been to farms, I've been to farms. We've participated in the distillation process. We've distilled our own bottles of oil, like just really incredible experiences, seeing this process up close and personal, and knowing that nothing goes in these products other than pure plant juice. Um, and all of their farms are, um, they use organic farming practices, they're sustainable, they weed by hand. Like it's really crazy actually, because you think there's no way that this is possible. There's no way that their weeding, their herbicide is a bunch of people out in the fields with hose, but it is. And it's really incredible to see. So that's why that's the brand of essential oil we've chosen for our families, and it's why what we're going to talk about tonight. And it's really important to understand that. If you want to learn more, I don't know, Sherry, if you put it in the chat already, because I can't see the chat because I'll get distracted. But if you go to www.seed2seal.com, they have a whole website all about their seed to seal guarantee, because Young Living owns that process from the time they source the seed, they cultivate it, harvest it, distill it, bottle it, everything. So they're really able to guarantee the quality. They test these oils so many times. It's kind of ridiculous through the whole process to ensure their quality and that all the constituents are at the levels they want for the right therapeutic effects. So it's honestly above and beyond. So I am going to kick it back to Sherry because she has some really good ideas to share on how you can start that kind of ditch and switch process.
Thanks, Stacy. So yes, ditch and switch is my favorite word. I didn't know what that meant years ago, and easily you ditch the bad, you switch to the good. And we're going to give you a lot of easy buttons for that tonight. But how do you know what needs to go? Label reading is going to be your new best friend. Um, I have to now have my glasses when I'm reading labels, but that's okay. My rule of thumb is if the word has so many letters in it that I cannot decode it, it's probably not a good thing because it's probably some kind of chemical that's been manufactured. And I don't really want that on my body. We are going to I'm going to name a few specific ingredients, but there are so many more, but we're going to name like the big five that could present a risk to you and your family. And before I get specific, I want to say you're going to hear both of us tonight saying that they're endocrine disruptors or they can interfere with your endocrine system. So what does that mean? Well, your endocrine system uses your hormones. It's like all of the hormones in your body to control and coordinate your body's metabolism, your energy level, your reproductive system, your growth, your development, and your body's responses to injury, stress, mood. So your endocrine system controls like all the things for your body. And if a chemical overload into your body can disrupt that endocrine system, you're going to see your body greatly impacted. So here's the first big one that Stacy got me right away with at that class like 7 years ago. It was formaldehyde. Okay, so like we know formaldehyde, right? You know that's what they embalm bodies with. But did you know it's a preservative that's often found in your air fresheners, your candles? It's in some lotions. It's a known carcinogen. It can cause skin and respiratory irritations. Inhaling the scent from candles or air fresheners is actually the equivalent of inhaling secondhand smoke, which is like more dangerous than smoking the cigarette itself. Like, why, why? I used to have those machines that every 90 seconds poofed out the scent of a pine forest or Hawaiian breeze out of a can. I didn't know I was just pushing toxic chemicals out at my family. So that's a big one. Get rid of those. The next one are phthalates. So phthalates are a group of chemicals that are found in a lot of personal care products and plastics. Yeah. So phthalates have been banned in the production of children's toys because we know, kids put toys in their mouth, right? So they've banned it in the production of that, but it's still found in our body cleansing products. It's a known endocrine disruptor, and it's very hard for our body to break it down when it's used consistently every day. So think about your shower gels, your shampoos. Your skin is your largest organ. It's absorbing that every day or twice a day for years and years. You'll see a lot of products now are saying sulfate free. That's why, because people are reading labels and we are becoming better educated consumers, but you need to be aware of the harm of them. This next big one is sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS. So sodium lauryl sulfate is like an emulsifying cleaning agent. It's the thing that makes anything foam in your products that you might have. So think your laundry soap, but here is the big one for me, your toothpaste. You know how like your toothpaste is all foamy? Yeah, go look at the back of your toothpaste tube. You're going to see SLS on there if you have a foamy toothpaste. And did you know that SLS was really created as an industrial degreaser? Yeah, toothpaste isn't sounding so good anymore, is it? It's used to remove like oily stains and residues. It's found in really high concentrations in industrial products in workplaces where they have protections in place to protect them from the harmful chemical side. But it's in so many of our personal care products. Think about your soaps, right? All of those things. Ugh. Look for that one. That's a big one, SLS. The next one is triclosan. It's gotten better, but it is still in many antibacterial soaps, hand sanitizers, and detergents. It can affect your thyroid and endocrine system. And it was recently banned by the FDA in antiseptic washes, but it can still be found in products. So you want to be sure you're not using products with triclosan. And then the last big one, fragrance. Fragrance. So before I learned about Young Living, I used to buy, there's these brands in the store that are like the natural cleaners. I won't say the names of them, but I would think, oh, it's plant-based cleaning. Okay. But if you go and look at the back of it, you're going to see lavender fragrance. Hmm. The word fragrance can appear on a label, and it can have an enormous list of ingredients that a company doesn't have to disclose because it's considered their trade secret. They're not required to tell us what chemicals are in that fragrance. And then they're keeping us in the dark about the toxicity of what really is in there. So it can have awful ingredients and we wouldn't even know about it. So why take the risk, right? So anything that smells like anything else, it's been created synthetically and it is not good for you. So what happens when you use these products on yourself or your children? Well, those toxins build up in our body and they have a hard time breaking down. And over time, that buildup is happening faster than the breakdown can occur. And that's when we can see it impacting us in a health way. So you might not notice it today or tomorrow, but over time, and that's where the autoimmune for me came in. It truly was over time. And I didn't make the connection until I removed the toxins from my home. And that's when I saw my health changing for the better. I never made the connection between those air fresheners and my own personal health issues. Now, I'm not telling you this to scare you because trust me, we've all been there. We all did this, but you don't know what to change until you know what you need to change. So we are here to help you make it better. This is a no judgment zone. We are just here, and that's why we're here teaching this class. So now I'm going to send it back to Stacy for a little bit more about essential oils.
Thank you, Sherry. Yes, so that was a great rundown from Sherry on things to look for on your labels and what you want to avoid. And one of the first things, like I was saying, what I started doing was just doing some DIYs and making some simple swaps. And I used essential oils to do a lot of that stuff. So I just want to explain to you what essential oils are, some of the ways we can use them, and some of my favorite ones that I recommend for getting started with. Essential oils are the concentrated liquid extracts from plants, herbs, trees, grasses, flowers, and they are either steam distilled or cold pressed. Typically, the ones that are cold pressed are our citrus oils, which come from the rind. Um, Everything else is steam distilled, which means that the only addition to the entire process is water vapor, which is passed through the plant material to extract the essential oils. So there's no solvents used. There's nothing used to extract that oil other than steam. So that's why they're so pure. Um, Essential oils are a plant's own self-defense mechanism. And so they have very, very powerful properties. And those properties range depending on what plants. And so we're able to use those powerful plant properties to support our own bodies. And it's really incredible. So we can use them, with aromatherapy, personal care, household solutions. They obviously make great replacements for all of those room sprays and plugins that Sherry was talking about, as well as candles. I used to be the hugest candle addict, loved all the candles, spent boatloads of money on candles, but now I just diffuse instead. So there are three main ways that we can use our essential oils. We can diffuse them. So, Young Living sells a huge line of different diffusers, and they are all ultrasonic cold mist diffusers. So they keep the oils cold. They don't heat up the oils, which retains their powerful properties. And we get those scent molecules into the air. We breathe them in. They hit our olfactory nerve. That goes straight to the limbic part of our brain, which is like the center of all our moods and emotions. And inhaling essential oils can have a big impact on our bodies. And that's one way that we can get their benefits, as well as replace all of those air fresheners, candles, and all that garbage that we do not want in our homes. So aromatically diffusing is one way we can use our oils. Another way we can use them is topically. So we can put them on our skin. When we put oils on our skin, typically you want to dilute them with a carrier oil. So a carrier oil is any kind of like fatty oil, right? It's like your coconut oil, your grapeseed oil, almond oil. any fatty oil. And that helps our essential oils have some staying power on our skin. It keeps them on our skin longer. And it also dilutes them in the sense that if the oil has anything spicy in it, like one of my favorites that I'm going to share a little bit more about is called a Thieves Blend, and that has clove and cinnamon in it. Clove and cinnamon are spicy. You put a bunch of that right on your skin, it's gonna be like, ooh, that's a little tingly and warm. That's why we use a carrier oil with it. So it dilutes it, goes on easy. You can put it on your skin and it won't be like, ooh, that's spicy. And then the other way we can use our oils is we can ingest them and we can use them internally. And when I talk about that, I am only talking about Young Living oils because I know their quality and purity. Please do not go and take some oil you got on sale at TJ Maxx and think you can add some lemon to your water, because I can tell you that is not going to be pure lemon, and I don't know what's in there, and you don't want to drink it. Probably don't want it on your skin either, or to breathe it. But you can ingest Young Living oils. They have a line of oils labeled as Vitality oils, so you know easily what ones are recommended for ingesting. And the beautiful thing is that you can use the oils however you want. So you can use them in whatever way you're comfortable with. I know people who use oils all the ways. I'm one of those people. I know people who generally just like to use them topically. I know people who love to diffuse. So there's lots of options there. What I will share with you is some of the ways I love to use some of my favorite oils. And the first one I want to tell you about is Thieves. That's one that I just mentioned. It's this wonderful blend from Young Living. I would say it's probably one of their most popular blends. It's one that everyone tries to copy, but no one gets quite right, except for them. And that is because they're the originators of it. And it has clove and cinnamon and eucalyptus and lemon, and it is known for all of its great cleansing properties. So this is one that we put in the diffuser if we feel like anyone is maybe feeling a little off in the house or getting a little sniffle. It's one that we'll use topically, but like I said, it is a little hot and spicy, so we always dilute it when we put it on our skin. I like to roll it up and down the spines of my family. And then also, this is one that I love in a cup of tea, especially if I have something like starting in my throat. I feel a little like scratch or a little tingle, a little off, I'll put a drop of Thieves in my tea. So that's one that we use all the ways, and it's fantastic. These are kind of, I mean, I could show you guys like 15 different oils that I love and use all the time, but we don't have enough time for me to do that. I actually need to talk faster as it is. So I'm just telling you the ones that I think are really, really key and can do some double duty for you too. So obviously one of those would be lavender, right? So lavender is like the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. We can use it for so many different things. When you think of challenges around sleep, stress, some occasional anxiousness, all that stuff, lavender is a go-to for that. It is also one of the best oils for your skin. So if you have any issues with your skin, be it irritations or anything, like my son, we were at a restaurant yesterday and he slammed his finger in the bathroom door, like got caught in that crack part. Oh my gosh, it was awful. I thought the nail was going to come right off. It didn't. But I was like, we have to get home and get the lavender. And somehow the only oil I had in my purse at the time was peppermint. I was not going to put peppermint on it because that would have been too spicy. That would not have felt good on his finger. But we got home and we got some lavender on it. Because it is soothing. It is a soothing oil. So lavender does double duty for you across many different things you may encounter for yourself and your family. Some other favorites is for us are also lemon. So lemon is a really great one. Lemon is one that I've incorporated into a lot of my cleaning in the house. And I want to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But that's a really great one. It's also really good in your water. When you do drink it in water, make sure you put it in something that's like stainless steel or glass. Don't put it in plastic because it is so detoxifying. It will detoxify itself right through that plastic. So that's a great one. And two blends I have to tell you about because they are two more Young Living favorites are Valor and Peace and Calming. So these are two I highly recommend, especially if you have little ones or pets, because they both lend themselves to being really calming, grounding, balancing. You have anyone who's got like moods or emotions out of whack, Peace and Calming is really great for that. It's a great one in the diffuser in the evening. And Valor is similar, has some similar effects. It actually has some of the same oils in the blend, but it's a little different. I like Valor on my son if he's kind of got any concerns, if he's like needs a little boost of courage, a little Valor on him. We also actually put Valor on his smashed finger. It was good for that too. So those are some of my favorites. And if you're, thinking, where do I get started? I know you have like over 150 oils. I don't know. Those are some good places to start. Your basics, your thieves, your lemon, your lavender, peppermint, Peace and Calming, Valor. That will give you a really good base. And obviously a diffuser too. So one of the great things about the Young Living diffusers is they all include a 1-year warranty. They're made with medical grade plastic. They are super indestructible. And I know this because I've dropped them and they still work. If you do, I recommend dropping it within the first year. So if it does break, you can get it replaced. But in general, don't drop your diffusers. But they do have that warranty, and right now they're on sale. So 2 of our favorite designs are on sale for 50% off right now. So that is fantastic. And I still need to go and look around my house and see where I need them. So I am going to kick it back to Sherry, who's going to give us a little more information on some personal care products.
All right. So oils are like the big thing. But now let's talk about personal care products, because this is what you really want to ditch. So the oils are great to get rid of those candles and air fresheners. They're great for sleep. They're great to make your house smell great. But now what about what you're putting on your body, right? So after you've read your labels, how do you start? Lotions first. We have quite a few different lotions. We've got baby lotions. We've got kids and adult ones. They're all formulated without parabens. They're sulfate free. There's no phthalates. There's no synthetic fragrances or colors. They are infused with our Young Living essential oils, and they are ultra moisturizing. Like, this is amazing. This is my current favorite. Can you guys see that? I know with my lighting. This is our Luscious Lemon. It's amazing. It smells amazing. I'm not a big lavender girl. I always have to lose my girl card. But my husband actually likes the lavender one. So we've probably got like all of the lotions from Young Living around our house in different locations, depending on where we are and what we need to grab. But super easy to use, and it's safe for you. Another big one. Ooh, remember I talked about that toothpaste, the industrial degreaser thing? Yeah. Our toothpastes are amazing, but I'm going to be honest, there's a little bit of a learning curve. And by that, I mean, it took a few days for me to get used to it, because, you're used to using this toothpaste and you look like a rabid dog, right? You're used to all the foam. Well, our Young Living toothpaste, you don't really get all that foam because we don't have that SLS in there to make that lather occur. However, they are amazing. I have to be honest. My husband, when he goes to the dentist, at first he didn't like our toothpaste because it didn't foam. But he was on board. He knew I wasn't buying the other stuff. Between our toothpaste and mouthwash, my husband's not a good flosser. Don't tell him I told you that. But when he goes in for his cleanings, they're always like, you do an amazing job flossing. And he was like, yeah, I don't. These products just really clean your teeth so well. We have 4 different ones. We have a Dentarome Plus, a Dentarome Ultra, we have a whitening, and then the Aroma Bright. And it's funny because my husband's favorite is the Ultra, mine is the Plus, but we will use whatever is like in the bathroom that has enough in there. But again, there's no SLS in there. It's free of like peroxide. There's also no fluoride. So that's a big one. And, Wendy is our favorite science teacher that's here on the call. But fluoride is a known neurotoxin, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole of research that we could go down that we're not going to do tonight. But just know that this is really safe for you. And of course, like I said, with the mouthwash, it's wonderful. The next thing is your shampoos and your deodorants. This was a hard switch for me. when I was making the switch, I was probably premenopausal. And so, having all these personal summers and I'm like sweating, I'm like, how can I not wear antiperspirant? But friends, aluminum and antiperspirants are very dangerous for women, especially because if you shave your armpits, you are opening up those pores, and it's huge for women because you're basically opening up the pores for the toxins to enter your bloodstream faster. And we have so many lymph nodes in that area that this was one that I knew I had to do. There are all different ways that you can kind of detox your pits, but now I've been using our deodorants for over 5 years. I can't imagine using an antiperspirant with aluminum in it anymore. So it's amazing. We have a few different versions of these. My favorite is the Cinefresh, but we have one with lemongrass. We have a Valor one. So there's a lot of great issues. But the aluminum in those store-bought products and those antiperspirants, they actually plug your sweat ducts because, people don't like to sweat, but it's actually something that's important. That's how you get rid of the toxins. And for women, it's so much more critical because it's trapping them near our breast tissue. So it does put women at a greater risk for potentially developing breast cancer. So ditch your aluminum, ditch those antiperspirants. With shampoo as well, ours are sulfate free. We have 3 different types. We have a lavender, a Copaiba vanilla, and the other one I left in my shower. It's the lavender mint, which is a great clarifying shampoo. So lots of options for shampoos and conditioners. And this is only a couple categories because we would be here until like next week if I talked about everything. This is just kind of like dipping your toe into the water to let you know the types of things we have available. So now I'm going to let Stacy tell you about cleaning. Go for it, girl.
Oh, thank you. My favorite topic. But really, switching out cleaning products was probably one of the most satisfying for me because I don't know about you, but I have been that person who is cleaning my bathtub and holding my breath while doing it because the fumes from the chemicals are giving me such a headache that I'm like scrubbing, holding my breath, running out of the bathroom, taking some deep breaths, running back in, finishing cleaning, because there is some nasty trash allowed in conventional cleaning products. And it is stuff that you shouldn't be breathing, your family shouldn't be breathing, and no one should be coming in contact with the residue that's left behind. It is not good for us. So switching out cleaning products was very satisfying for me. One of my favorite products is Thieves Household Cleaner. It is a multi-purpose cleaner. It is plant-based. It is based on the Thieves essential oil. So it's got, that clove, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, rosemary, lemon, and it's very cleansing, very purifying. It's very deep cleaning. Naturally derived plant-based ingredients. It is a concentrate. So that little bottle you see there, that you just use 1 capful in a full 16-ounce spray bottle. So out of that one little bottle there, you get 20 to 25 bottles of household cleaner, and you can use it to clean everything: mirrors, floors, kitchen counters, bath counters, bathtubs. I put it in a bucket of hot water to mop my floors. We use it for everything. And it's very effective. I love that it is safe to use around children and pets because those are the creatures that may be licking your floor after you clean it, and you really don't want them licking things like bleach or any other Cloroxy garbage ingredient. So we love the Thieves Household Cleaner. We use it for so many different things. And then one other thing I want to touch on is the Thieves Laundry Soap. So I know so many people who have had serious skin issues from conventional laundry soaps that have things in them like the formaldehyde Sherry talked about, the SLS, the dyes, the synthetic perfumes and fragrances, chlorine, and even optical brighteners, which are additives designed to stay in your clothes. It's really gross. So the Thieves Laundry Soap is wonderful. It contains natural enzymes that combat dirt, stains, odors. It's plant-based, great for sensitive skin. So if you are someone who has ever dealt with sensitive skin issues due to your laundry soap, this is a really, really good one to try. It smells really good. And the bottle, you can't tell in that picture, but when you get the bottle, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, that bottle is small. But don't worry. Um, you need like a half a capful for a full load of laundry. It lasts so long. And I feel like I do laundry. Oh, so much laundry. But those bottles last me a really long time. So it's very concentrated. A little goes a long way, as is the same with all of our essential oil-based products. They're very concentrated and a little goes a long way. Some people do this whole like dilution thing where you take like one bottle of that and you can like dilute it down into 3 bottles. I am too lazy to do that. I just use a little bit instead of diluting it down. Either way works. But above and beyond the Thieves household cleaner and the laundry soap, Young Living also has everything from, foaming hand soap, dish soap, dishwasher powder, fruit and veggie soap. That's one of my favorite products. Hand sanitizer, really good hand sanitizer, a kitchen and bath scrub, Thieves wipes. So many different ways that you can slowly swap out your conventional products for cleaner alternatives. And I really have to emphasize the slow part, because it's not realistic to think you're going to go and dig under your kitchen sink and throw everything out and start fresh, because very few of us are in a situation where that makes economical sense, right? So go ahead and use your things up, and as you do, invest in something that's healthier and safer for you and your family when you're replacing them over time, slowly. That's my recommendation. So Sherry is going to talk a little bit about one other thing Young Living offers, which is supplements, which are some of my favorite things.
Yes. And to also piggyback on what Stacy was just saying, it's not that any of us dumped everything and just started buying everything natural. Once a month, I will swap out one thing for something new. And Stacy will be talking about how to do this at the end. But so many of our products, especially the cleaning products, can be diluted. They're concentrates, so they last a long time. So those are some of the ways that we're going to talk about how to make it economical. But we would be doing a huge disservice if we didn't also talk about the most amazing product line, because this is actually most of my order every month. It's either personal care products or our supplement line. So supplements, I was the girl that never took vitamins because I was like, oh, they don't make me feel any better. And when I first met Stacy, I told her about my autoimmune, and she kind of looked up like what products could support my body with the autoimmune. And she was like, oh, there's this great supplement. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't do those things. Vitamins don't really make me feel better. I'm not going to waste my time or money on them. I'm sure she laughs at me all the time when I tell this story, because I now probably take like 14 of the Young Living supplements on a daily basis, because they are clean. They are, infused with essential oils. They are created to target specific things in our body. And because they are infused with our essential oils, it actually improves the bioavailability of the supplement so that your body absorbs it and gets the goodness. So how many of you have taken a vitamin and then when you go to the bathroom later, your urine might be a different color because you've just like gotten rid of it all because your body couldn't absorb what it needed. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to just like get rid of this now because your body's not going to hold on to it. Our products, because of the essential oils, your body's absorbing what it needs. And it's amazing. We have everything from probiotics to digestive enzymes, which are great for gut health, to a super antioxidant drink that I do not go a day without called Ningxia Red. And we have classes on all of these other specific topics, but just something we wanted to let you know is here. And that is something for everyone to know about. And I'm going to toss it back to Stacy to wrap us up.
Thank you, Sherry. Yes. So thank you guys so much for jumping in here and learning with us tonight. As you have heard, there's a lot of different ways that you can start the process of swapping out products in your home for natural, clean alternatives. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on the things you need to know because we are run over and we're a little short on time. The first thing you need to know is that the best way to order anything from Young Living is on it's called Subscribe to Save, and that's a wellness box. There are no minimums on this box. You can order a lavender lip balm on this box. So you can get whatever you want, but the benefit of making it into your own customized box is that you get an additional 24% off Young Living prices. So that's the most economical way to do it. So my recommendation is to look at your home, maybe room by room. Maybe you're going to start in your kitchen and you're going to say, like, I'm going to swap out my household cleaner and my dish soap. And then you're going to look at your laundry room and maybe do, like, your laundry soap. And you're going to look at, like, okay, I'm using wool dryer balls and I want to have some lemongrass on my wool dryer ball. So I'm going to get a bottle of lemongrass essential oil. So you can slowly swap out, and look at different areas. You look at your bathroom, you swap out some lotion, some deodorant, and you can do it slowly month by month over time. And when you do it in that wellness box, you get that additional discount. And then depending on how much you spend, you can also qualify to get some points back that you can then use to cash in for free oils or personal care products or supplements or whatever you need. I highly recommend you connect with the person who invited you here tonight because they can hold your hand and help you put together a wellness box that is going to stretch your budget the furthest. Right now, as I mentioned, there's diffusers on sale through the end of the month. It's a short month, so just a couple more days. But also, there are a lot of these 10% off coupons floating around that the person who invited you here may very well have to share with you. There's a limited amount per person. So definitely reach out to them because they may be able to get you an even deeper discount on some of these products. So that is my recommendation to you. One of the most wonderful things about my Young Living experience has been the community of people that it has connected me to. I didn't know Sherry before this. She's now one of my best friends. And so we have some online resources and online communities that we can connect you with and really give you some additional resources to help you baby step through this process. Or if you really want to go at it with leaps and bounds, we can help you do that too. Whatever works for you and where you're at right now. And what your starting point looks like. So thank you again. Thanks for bearing with us as we gave you a little more than you asked for and a little bit longer, but thank you so much and have a great evening.